morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever you find yourself at. This is the bunny rabbit finally finishing him up. Sorry about taking so late to get this guy done, but I wanted to show you the final touches on the painting. I really didn't want to bore you with every brush stroke, so I'm just going to point out some things that I did on the painting. Make sure when you're painting your project that, for like his little yellow jacket, for example, you'll paint that first and then you'll paint this white. Then you might have to come back and touch up the yellow, then the white, until you get a nice crisp edge. At least that's what I have to do. And I wanted his tie to stand out kind of crazy. My wife helped me on that color, picking that. His little face, his teeth, in order to bring his teeth out, I had to actually paint some black underneath and put a line in there, even though that little space between his teeth is actually carved. His nose is not carved, just painted. Same with his eyes. Make sure when you're doing the eyes that you have like a little dot, light white dot to bring out his eyes, to make it look more like an eye. My wife pointed this out. I had this all pink on top. She said put a line around it, which it does help. Just bring out the ear a little bit better. So his jacket's yellow. Got his tail painted. Under here you can see this is all painted, and like I said before, make sure you either paint your signature or carve it, put the year on there, so it actually is worth more if you want the solid, I think. But anyway, he has his little lapels, even though those are not carved in, it's just painted, and gives you the illusion of little lapels there. And his crazy mild tie. And my daughter really loves this little bunny. I don't know what I'll do with it yet, but might be a future gift. But anyway, hopefully you had fun viewing the bunny from start to finish. The painting is all acrylic that I did. Everything here is acrylic, and all these are the only ones that I kind of mixed the color was the pink in the ear. That's actually red with white blended in. Everything else, even this crazy pink here, is a true acrylic color from the bottle. At the very end on these, I want to make sure that the paint doesn't come off, and I do use exterior interior varnish gloss. It works really good on acrylics to keep it nice, clear and crisp, and this stuff doesn't yellow because I've been using it for years, so it's kind of a nice thing to use. That's it for the bunny. Another thing that I just painted, because I do carvings and then I group them together and I like to paint them together. So I did this one earlier in another episode, a little Santa's head, which is very easy to do. Here I did carve my signature in the bottom. I did not paint that, but I did a little different, painting his eyes. I put a little bit more black around his eyes than the white. Then I got blue with a black pupil, and then the dot of white in his eyes to bring it out. I did blend a little color here on his cheeks to bring his cheeks out. But this head, I'll probably use a burnt umber oil to antique it, and that's basically all I'll do with this. But that's pretty much a finished project too. So hopefully you learned a few little tips from the painting. Like I said, I didn't want to bore you with every stroke, but hope you enjoyed the projects, and sorry about taking so late. So they were complete except for the final finish. Thanks. Have a great day.